bluffgawd. BLUFF_GAWD. Look him up. One of Kanye's close friends.
So we might watch the Angelo Ball already made a huge mistake by Hello Yassine. Yeah, let's see.
Because he just signed to Def Jam, which is one of the worst. I don't think I've heard of a worse record label in the past 6 to 8 years than Def Jam. People that have been on there have told me how terrible it is. Just opening your two eyes, you can see how terrible it is. And when was the last time you ever heard of an artist signed to them? So what happened was
Logic.
The reports came out. Initially,
right?
I heard about it from The Breakfast Club, where Jess was talking about how, LeAngelo Ball, clap it up for him. He got a deal. You know how much it is. I heard it was like 7 or 8 million. Charlemagne said, yeah, he had heard about it before, but he didn't want to say anything. He just said, is that boy signed? He heard people were giving him a deal. And then it also came out via this news reporter, Shams Charania. And he said, LeAngelo Ball has signed a deal with Def Jam and Universal Music Group. A representative from his label, Born to Ball Music Group, says. Sources said the deal is worth as much as $13 million, with $8 million
crazy.
guaranteed, and gives Ball full ownership of music and his own record label. First, people are trying to nitpick, what does $8 million guaranteed mean? Isn't that in advance? We will never know the details of this, but let's just say the numbers, right? Like, let's say 7-8 million. Let's say for a multiple album deal. And if he owns the rights, people are like, how is he going to make money? Or how are they going to make money if he owns the rights? Well, they could just get royalties. So they can get royalties up until a certain point in time, right? Maybe they get 80% until it covers whatever the amount of money that they gave him was. And then it flips. And then he starts to get 80% and they get 20%. But he still owns the rights to do whatever he wants with the music. So if he doesn't want them to put it in some children's cartoon show, I don't know, something that LeAngelo would not
okay
want
dude, like at the end of the day, dude, all these like extra speculations about people's deals are so fucking stupid, dude. I don't know who started that shit. Just shut the fuck up about that shit. I hate that shit. If this whole video is just that, dude, no.
Shown, displayed, heard, he has the right to veto it. That's
like bunch of fucking people who like you and I who don't have money talking about how is Def Jam gonna make money. Shut the fuck up, dude.
basically what owning it means. He also has the right to sell the ownership to it. So he owns the master. That doesn't necessarily mean you collect the money on it. It depends.
The people signing deals barely understand the fucking deals. Why do people who haven't even seen the contract? Why are y'all talking about this shit? The people signing the shit don't understand the shit, and that's not a shot or nothing like that. I'm just fucking saying, you know.
Depends on the deal. It's a bunch of complications that we don't want to get into for this video. But I just wanted to go down Def Jam so we could potentially see how terrible this place is. So I'm just going to go down the roster real quick with you guys. It won't take more than a couple of minutes to realize what the hell is LeAngelo Ball doing here and what service would they even provide him. Like, first off, let's just look down the list, right? And we want to find an artist within the past 5 or 6 years has blown up and signed to Def Jam and done better. So if we've got artists from a decade plus ago, we don't care about that, right? Like, if you guys got Justin Bieber's been lit for damn near, I was about to say 20 years. Like 12, 13 years, maybe even more. So off rip, we got 2 Chainz, old, right? 070 Shake,
old,
great
right?
artist, but
Jesus,
she got put on there via when Good Music kind of fell apart. They just got moved to Def Jam. So they haven't really done much with her, as talented as she is. Remember, her project did really well. I forgot.
Yeah, shout out to 070 Sebastian, bro. You gotta tap in with me. We gotta do some work, bro. You know what I mean?
What it was. It kind of had this robotic, kind of not cyberpunk, but cyborg type album cover. People received that well, and her appearance on Ye, the album, and look what happened. They didn't really do much with her at all. 2 Chainz, old. Alessia Cara, she has not she has not been relevant since her first album, 2016. Those were the biggest hits, and she signed to Def Jam. This was 2015, 2016. She got a big look from, what was her name? Taylor Swift at the time. I think the song was These Four Walls or Four Pink Walls, I think, that Taylor Swift said she really loved the songwriting for. Alessia Cara hasn't dropped an album in 4 years.
Yassine, what are you doing? What is this video,
Last
bro?
album she dropped was 2021, and she just put out some Christmas holiday EP. I don't know if she added something to it.
Awesome, bro. Awesome.
But that's the most
What,
recent. They keep going down. What's Big Sean doing now? Also, Big Sean is like from 54.
Yeah,
Lit,
L,
and
walking
I was hearing
L,
about
bro.
him
Big
before
Sean's
he signed
an
to
L.
Def Jam. So I don't even know what they're doing with him right now. And I was hearing Patrick.
Who is this?
I didn't even know he was signed to Def Jam. Also, Big Sean is like from 15 years ago. Chris Patrick, I didn't even know he was signed to Def Jam. I would say Chris Patrick was more lit, and I was hearing about him before he signed to. He has a sim. All these other. Any name been signed, they're really popping. And I thought he was a signee to 4 to 5 years. That was the first time I heard about him. I actually kind of enjoyed his music. Roster in here. I think if it's a smaller label where they can devote a lot of their is signing to, because think about it, Angelo Ball is not going to get an advantage working with any of these artists. I mean, unless he works with one of these pop acts. I don't know. It just doesn't really make sense. And I know Def Jam's leadership changed, maybe 3, 4.
Okay, dude, we need to stop the YouTuber guys who fucking speculate on all these guys' deals. Like, you're trying to make sense of a situation that is never gonna make sense because the song itself didn't fucking make sense. The person who made the song and like everything about this situation doesn't make sense. So why are you going down the line and trying to, like, what point is this video trying to prove is what I'm trying to understand.
5 years ago, sometime after 2020, but not much has changed at that label. I know they've been trying to sign new people, but that thing is dead in the water, man. I don't know what's going on there. I think they're just collecting off of the rights to music that they've owned for so long. It's a legacy name at this point. We're not even looking at, you hear Def Jam and you think of the video games, you think of the 80s, 90s, maybe even 2000s. Jay-Z is the last time I really think of Def Jam. After that, or good music, but good music, you think of good music. And then I think a lot of people don't even know it was distributed via Def Jam. So it seems
everyone knows, bro. What the fuck?
Angelo Ball maybe has his own label deal with Def Jam, but what I don't get is there was definitely a bidding war. He definitely had many other options that he could have
Boy, this is on the extras channel for a fucking reason, bro.
gone with. But why did he go with this? He could have just gotten a distribution deal. I don't know if this is a distribution deal, but if it's a distro deal, they're not giving him $8 million for one song, because he's only had one song so far. That's
Oh yeah, because you know he's worked in the labels and he knows like what labels are gonna
done anything.
This shit is
It
cringe.
doesn't matter what other songs he's got in the tuck. We don't know how those are going to be received. Now, will I say this is dumb from Def Jam?
Yeah, we don't know. We don't. Everything is
They've
a
got their numbers.
speculation
They
in
can
this
see what
fucking.
they're
Shut
potentially
the
going to do
fuck
with the
up.
song. Maybe they've got connections. Maybe they feel like, oh, we can get this on a lot of games. We can license this. We can do a very good job on the back end to make money out of this song. But that's not necessarily doing well for Angelo Ball's career. So I'm not criticizing the.
What is this take, dude? A dude dropped one song out of nowhere and got a deal. What is the take?
Amount that Def Jam gave him, although the last time I saw this amount being thrown around, and it was official, Coi Leray was talking about it, but I don't know how official that was, where she said she got $8 million and it was the biggest deal of that year. She said it in a Vlad interview, but it was Roxanne by Arizona Zervis, where he signed to Columbia, and he had a song chart on the Hot 100. It was maybe like top 40, and then they signed him for $8 million. So that was something unheard of, and charting that high
I don't understand
is
the
crazy.
take. I'm not
So
gonna
for
lie.
him to get that deal, that makes sense. But Angelo Ball's tweaker is not as big as that was, regardless of how often we're hearing it. So that's where I start to think, what's going on here? And why wouldn't he just sign? If it was a distribution deal, why wouldn't he just do it directly through Universal as opposed to Def Jam? Garbage Def. I just really wish, even if it's not public, I really wish I could get into the heads and understand what the leadership at Def Jam is trying to do, is struggling with, and wants to change. And why they even signed Angelo Ball. Now, it's a good look. This is a better look for Def Jam than it is for LiAngelo. And what's interesting here, LiAngelo is really, really tied into sports because you've got sports reporters talking about his signing, which they're not doing about any other artist. So it's an interesting thing where he's in the middle between sports and hip-hop, and he didn't need the money because LiAngelo, they're a tight family. LiAngelo's probably running some sort of business that's adjacent to one of his brothers or their brand as a whole. So he doesn't need money. They're not going to leave their brother strung out. So I don't think he made that decision.
Everyone needs money. What
If
the
it's
fuck
not
is what?
based on money, then you would think it would be based on working with a record label because he didn't need to sign to a record label either. So you would think it would be to sign to a label that can do their best job in making sure your song gets as big as it can possibly be and your career continues and you get bigger and bigger over time, which is something that we haven't seen Def Jam do in this entire millennia. I mean, other than maybe Jay-Z, right?
Yeah, whatever.
When he was president. So since Jay-Z left that building, we haven't seen Def Jam do that. So I wish I got the behind the scenes. Somebody can explain to me why LiAngelo signed there and what Def Jam is doing. I don't need to know why Def Jam signed LiAngelo. That's obvious. I would like to know what they're doing and trying to turn the Def Jam brand.
Why?
into
Why not
right
just
now
let them
to-
do it?
It's not get relevant again, but to compete because they're not competitive. You think of top 25 labels, you're not thinking of Def Jam, which is sad considering the storied history that it has from New York too. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I would say LiAngelo signing should have been a given. 100% he should have done it because
Spelled below wrong. Yeah, dude. Who gives a fuck, dude? Let him sign where he wants to sign. I wish I could preview some of these videos before I watch them because that was brutal. That was brutal.